this time with sound. Morning, Fraser.
Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's good to see you again. We keep meeting on Be Live, which is good, and a shout out to Be Live for an awesome system. Now, in this section, which we sort of covered in our previous broadcast, we're talking about Fraser's new book. So I'm going to bring up the title on the screen, and then it's over to you, Fraser, to explain about your book.
Yeah, Pipeline is a sales prospecting system that doesn't involve cold calling by telecanvassing. It doesn't involve investing in buying traffic, and it doesn't involve in spending money on it. It's an acronym, IPNE, and it's to help any small business owner, manager, or individual that's running a business to generate leads, inquiries, prospect sales, and referrals for their products, services, and solutions.
Which is basically what we're all trying to do. Yeah, I mean, there is a cold calling. Does that still work?
Well, interestingly, Stephen, cold calling, telecanvassing, telemarketing, over the last 10 years, the cost to perform telemarketing or cold calling has remained pretty stagnant. If you think about how much it costs to make a telephone call compared to other forms of marketing, for example, when you compare how much it was for a first-class stamp 10 years ago to what it is for a first-class stamp now, it's varied completely.
Yep, it has indeed. So can you tell us something about what's inside the book and what people can look forward to as a sort of step-by-step approach?
Absolutely. Let's take the first letter of Pipeline, P, and it's all about your profile and your objectives. And many people don't know how many leads they need to generate the revenue they want. Many people know how much income they want to achieve, but how many leads do you need? So we need to work out what is it we're selling. We divide the total revenue we want, and we say, right, but where are these people? And what we need to recognize is that people are congregating online in different communities, in different tribes, in different forums, in different groups. And I would split that into two main categories or platforms, and that is LinkedIn for business to business and Facebook for business to consumer groups.
Right. So just pick up on that point that you don't think there is much business to business on Facebook.
I think there is, but with the acquisition by Microsoft taking over LinkedIn, they targeted and quite clearly wanted a greater share of the business market. So the acquisition of the LinkedIn platform with now over 400 million members, it's the number one business platform. And Facebook, although it's a bigger platform, I would say is mainly consumers.
All right. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Agree. And we're going through letters. So can we go for I then? What's the I in Pipeline?
Interesting. The I in Pipeline stands for item of value. In order to engage people, yes, we can highlight which groups they're in, but how do you disrupt that group in a favorable way? How do you engage with others and get them to want to contact you or engage with you? And what we do is we offer an item of value. Now, it could be a video, it could be a report, it could be a white paper, or if you go in and visit my profile on LinkedIn for what I call a free instant breakthrough to help you identify what may be holding you back and preventing you from generating the results or growth that you want. So come up with an item of value that's going to help your prospective clients and suspects and potential inquiries, how to help them with specific problems, issues, and challenges that they may have.
Yeah, so it is solving problems is the key.
Absolutely. And something where you can demonstrate your knowledge, wisdom, and expertise and genuinely help other parties with some of the issues that they've got and thus get them to want to engage with you as well.
Okay. And that brings us on, and we're not going through the full alphabet, but if we go through the second P, PIP.
Prospect profile. Many people say they want leads, they want more. Who is it you're targeting? Be specific with your prospect profile. And a good way to do this is to, well, in fact, there's two key elements here. One is to use the search facility either on LinkedIn or Facebook. But if we concentrate on LinkedIn for a moment, use the search facility. You can type in a keyword to help you find specific individuals. You can do a search by location. You can do a search by defining the type of company or organization you want, and you'll bring up individuals who match that criteria in the search. Secondly, a very good thing, which we touched on earlier, is people congregate online in tribes, groups, and communities. So what you could is do it in, but do a search in groups and type in the keyword to help you find these tribes and groups that are relevant to your target audience. So, for example, if you're targeting coaches, you could type in coach in the group search on LinkedIn, and it'll come up with many hundreds of groups containing many thousands of members of groups. So that way you can target quite specifically who it is that you want to target.
Right. Indeed, I'm with you there. Just give me a second.
Hi, Tish.
Right, and welcome, Tish. Yes. As you can see, Fraser is now working with a microphone, and that has improved things. And we're talking this time about Fraser's book, which is Pipeline, the sales prospecting system that generates leads and appointments without cold calling, which I'm all in favor of. Right, so we've done the P and the I and the P, and that brings us on to E.
Extending the network. Oh, where do we start? Many people want to grow their network of contacts. They want to generate leads, inquiries, prospect sales, and referrals, but what do? And one of the first things you can do is absolutely profoundly simple. You use the search facility on LinkedIn, you type in the keyword, it'll bring up a number of results to match the criteria that you've entered, and then simply click on their profile. Don't email them, don't phone them, don't buy an ad in traffic. If they match your criteria and come up in the search results, just click on their profile. Why? Because LinkedIn will then automatically email the individual that you've just clicked on and tell them that you've looked at their profile. Now, if you've got a good headline and a good photograph on your LinkedIn profile, your email notifications sent by LinkedIn should arouse enough curiosity in the individual to want to read your profile. Now, let's get this right. If you were to click on just 100 profiles, you select who you want to reach out to, you define the criteria, you use the search facility on LinkedIn, you click on just 100 profiles a day, it's not within reason that you should get between 10 and 25 people looking at your profile to see who is this person that's clicked on my profile.
Now,
and it gets...
Sorry, Fraser, you're in full flow there. Carry on.
Now, it gets interesting because if you follow the information that I detail in the book as to what to do to your profile to help qualify and explicitly state who you are, the benefits you offer, the problems you fix, and the problems and solutions that you can actually deal with and address, and what your product, and by offering a free item of value on your profile and encouraging them to get in contact with you, you will increase a response. Now, a little case study for you. Friday afternoon at 4:30, on a Friday afternoon, just past, between 4:30 and 5:30, I contacted 54 people just using that tactic. Out of the 54 people I contacted, 15 came back to me.
Wow.
5 have actually joined up, and 1 I actually speak with on a paid engagement later on today.
Brilliant. Wow.
It's not. I'm not going to make you a millionaire. But my point is this: for less than an hour's activity, for spending no money, it generated people who came to my profile. They wanted to engage network. One has actually partnered with cash and actually wants to engage me today. So if you now know what to do, you even know how to do it. All you've got to do is repeat the process day after day. However, there are other things you can do to extend your network as well. Once you've done a search on LinkedIn, you've done a group search, you've identified the groups of the prospects that you want to reach. Now, the majority of people tend to join groups where their competitors are. They tend to have the same industry, the same things that you're interested in. Think about joining groups where your prospects are. And in these groups, you can and remember, there's only 9 things, 8 things predominantly you can do on LinkedIn. 8 things you can predominantly do, and I'll cover them in just a second. The 9th one really, really takes the extension of your network very, very fast forward. Now, 4 things you can do online. You can click, you can watch, you can listen. You can click, watch, listen, and read. Would you agree with that, Stephen?
Yeah, indeed.
4 primary actions.
Okay, click, watch, listen, and read.
Yeah, because we've got 3 ways that we can communicate: visually, auditorily, or kinesthetically. Now, online, we like to read. We like to read blogs. We like to read articles. We like to read Amazon Kindle books, especially one called Pipeline. But that's another story. Now, we like to listen. We like to listen to podcasts, combining various communication styles by watching, listening, and even acting when we start clicking on specific links. So 4 primary actions. We click, we watch, we read, and we listen. However, we can also do 3 things. We can be interactive, like having a conversation or discussion just now. We can be interactive by reading someone else's group post, and then we can comment on it. So your content, you might want to speak, you might want to write, etc., etc. But with other people's content, you might want to like it. You might want to comment on it. You might want to share it. So you can post groups. We start getting good engagement and good interactivity across different visual, auditory platforms. Another interesting point, and a lot of people don't do this. When people go into Twitter, they tweet. Some people might even retweet. Some people might write a blog or an article. They might even put a group post onto LinkedIn or Facebook, and somebody might comment, somebody might share it, somebody might even like it. But there's the 9th thing that you can do is very, very powerful, and that is to thank people. Just a very short, instant message to say, thank you. Thank you for liking my post. And then you thanks for sharing my post. Thanks for your comment. Much appreciated. And then ask a question. Ask a question that draws in the other individual and engages with them so you can maintain the conversation, extend the conversation, and extend the relationship. So in terms of extending your network, you can do a status update, you can add an article, you can add a picture, an image, you could go into a group, you can add your own post, you can contribute to a post, you can like a post, comment on a post, you can even share someone else's post. But if you thank them, it takes it forward.
I totally agree with this is, I mean, it's networking, it's interaction, and it's persuading people that you know what you're talking about and helping them, isn't it?
Absolutely. To do it you're performing the same actions. You're going to click on Facebook. You're going to watch something in Facebook. You're going to listen to something on YouTube. Thanking people for their participation and engagement across all the platforms that you're on. Very quickly, you start creating real, genuine relationships.
And that's the key. Right. Is there anything we haven't covered, Fraser? I mean, put the link to the book in this post afterwards for everyone who's interested and wants to know more after this overview. But is there anything you want to cover that we've not covered?
Here's a little tip, or I'll ask a question first of all. What's the first word you should have on your profile on LinkedIn?
Stumped. I'm stumped. I don't know. What should we be using?
Some people would agree, some will disagree. But for me personally, I have the word unlike at the start of my LinkedIn profile. Why? Because people are looking at and reading many profiles in the course of a day, a week, or a month. But to come across your profile where you say, unlike other coaches or unlike other salesmen or unlike other IT specialists, you're able to differentiate with the next sentence. So start your LinkedIn profile with the word unlike, name your competitors, and then go on to explain and differentiate yourself as to why you're different. And ensure that you offer your free item of value and ask them to engage with you to request the free item.
Yeah, I did. I noticed that on your. I thought that's a strange first word to have, and now I know why. Because I looked at your profile yesterday when we were doing something, and yes, so unlike means that you are differentiating yourself and standing out from the first word. I like that. I like that. Right. Okay. So Fraser's book is Pipeline, the sales prospecting system that generates leads and appointments without cold calling. Fraser and I will be back with now we've got this working. Fraser and I will be back with future shows on the same theme. We'd like to say thank you for everybody who joined us today, Fraser, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And if you've got any questions, please be sure to ask them, because we want you to get the benefit out of these chats. It's not just for us. So ensure you ask the questions and we'll give you a straight answer.
So for the moment, and we will be back, it's goodbye from me and goodbye from
him.
As the feminine. Yeah, right, okay. Take care, everybody. We'll see you later.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.
Bye.